Oh my gosh, it's the O Wrestling Podcast. Look at it go. I'm your host, CW. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to head over to YouTube and hit that bell so you get notified whenever new videos go live, and subscribe to the podcast on any and all platforms. I also ask that you tell a friend, tell two friends about the show. It's a 10-minute wrestling show. What do they have to lose? Thank you so much for listening. Today, we're talking about one-time champs. One time. They got the gold, then they never got it again. Is that good? Is it bad? Is it good to win once and never again, or to never reach that peak? I feel like professional wrestling has put a lot of shine on multiple time champs. It's kind of a thing. And it's the nature of the business, right? You're in the business long enough. The more times you win the title, the more prestigious it becomes, I suppose. I don't know. I don't believe that. The fact that Ric Flair is, what was it, 16-time champ doesn't impress me, right? Because that meant he lost it 15 times. Well, he lost it 16 times. So, so he lost a lot. He lost as much as he won. It's a big fat goose egg. But I feel like it would make more sense if he was 16 times champ in 16 different promotions. That's a more prestigious thing. And I think, to kind of sidetrack myself a bit, Matt Cardona is kind of doing it right. I was thinking about him today and sort of his trajectory, not only outside of WWE, but while he was in WWE. I ate that word up hard. While he was in WWE, he got himself over online as the internet champ, created his own title. That's where we are right now. And then got the push in the company. But because it wasn't a push that the company did themselves, they gave him the belt and then they buried him. And then they fired him, because that's the kind of nonsense that goes on in professional wrestling. But he didn't let it deter him. He created a brand for himself. He went out there and then started collecting titles from so many different promotions, calling himself the Indie God, the Deathmatch King, all while playing with toys. Let's get that out of the way. Congratulations to Matt Cardona for just getting over and being the biggest nerd that I respect. I have tons of toys myself. I don't play with them, but I have them. But he's collected a bunch of titles from a bunch of different promotions, and it's amazing. I don't know how many times he's defended them. I haven't watched a lot of those matches, but if he were to say, I'm the one-time champ of, this promotion and the one-time champ of this promotion, and I left, I took the belt with me, or whatever, I think that's more impressive than Flair's 16-time. And I know that's blasphemous. It's, historical, whatever you want to call it. But let's be real. If you lose as much as you win, just because you have the title doesn't make you a great champion. So, rolling back to my original point, I just took a shot at Flair and put over Matt on Flair. That doesn't make any sense. One-time champs, people like a Rob Van Dam or a Kofi Kingston or an Eddie Guerrero, fellas who reached the top of the mountain and never climbed back. Granted, Eddie Guerrero would have climbed back up top, but we tragically lost him. And his reign as title holder was great. Eddie Guerrero had a fantastic run. But then you have someone like a Finn Balor, who was champ for like an evening. He was the first Universal Champion. Let's all give it up for the fact that the Universal Championship is gone. Can we give some claps, some virtual claps, for the fact that licorice belt with the terrible title is now a memory? And it was such a quiet memory, right? We saw the title, but they stopped calling it the Universal title. They just kind of rolled it into like the Universal Unified Heavy whatever, and then they just got rid of the belt. And I think we were all pretty happy about that. But Finn Balor was the first Universal Champion with that big licorice belt, and then the next week on Raw, the next night on Raw, he had to give it up because Seth Rollins separated his shoulder, which became the basis for their feud that has ended in Finn not getting the title, and the consolation prize is getting the tag titles, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, Finn went through a grueling match, won the title. Everyone was super excited that Finn was the new Universal Champion. It was a great way to kick off that title. But then to have him give it up and then not, evaporate for 9 months while he healed, not great. And then I believe the next person to get the title was Kevin Owens, who then never got a shot at that title again. He dropped it, and then he was not champ again. Another one-time champ. Not the greatest run. I still think the greatest run with the worst ending, and you know where I'm going with this, is Kofi Mania, where we watched one of the most organic title wins maybe in history, where Kofi and the crowd got behind him, and he and the New Day really put over this feud, and they worked their way towards WrestleMania, and Kofi put in so much work with the gauntlet matches and having Vince McMahon kind of be against it on camera and kind of behind camera, and then working his way to Mania, going over on Daniel, having such a fantastic celebration of 11 years, and he's finally made it to the top, and people were so happy. People were so happy, y'all, that Kofi won the I'm talking about everybody. I remember they cut to a camera in the back after he pinned Daniel Bryan, and the entire locker room was back there. Now, granted, they were all set up to be back there, but they were all still super happy for Kofi to become champ. Everyone was watching that match because they knew it was going to be great. And then when he won, the entire locker room celebrated because Kofi is a fantastic person and he deserved it. Then, after riding that high and being on top for 140 something days or whatever it was, they fed him to Brock and he lost in 6 seconds. And the F5 that he took sent him tumbling down the mountain so fast, so rapidly, that he has been unable to climb back up since. It's a shame. And there's a part of me that understands why, but there's also a part of me that's once you've reached that pinnacle, once you've reached the top, people and you've held the title for a long time and people are on your side, I feel like people are more inclined to work you back into those angles, whether it be management or fans, right? But Kofi just never got the shot again. Jinder Mahal is another one. One-time champ, very out of nowhere champ, did a pretty good job as the champion. I believe it was really for their sort of getting a foothold in India and kind of having Jinder be out there and be champ and have someone for them to cheer and kind of tune in. But then they took the belt off of him, and then he just got another one who just got evaporated. So there's a long laundry list of one-time champs. And my question to you is, do you find those champs to be lacking? Or is them reaching the mountain the best thing and, maybe they just needed one time to do it? I don't know. I'm in the middle, right? I wish Kofi would have got a second chance. I wish, even if he didn't win, he should have got a rematch or something. Jinder Mahal, I don't know. He was okay. He's, again, a very not goofy. Goofy's the wrong word. I apologize, Jinder. It was a very out of left field pick for the champ, but he worked. Someone like Kevin Owens deserves another shot. Someone like Finn Balor deserves to win. He got the other shot, but he should have won. I don't know. I feel like it's definitely it's nice to be nominated thing, but they need another shot at the title. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Who is your favorite one-time champ in WWE history? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for listening once again. I appreciate you. Make sure to stay tuned for more new episodes of the O Wrestling Podcast. And don't you ever forget.
I'm your friend, but if I ever see you in the ring, I can beat you. Don't you know? Yeah, yeah, yeah.